The Last Jedi, the last Star Wars movie I may ever see.
People are very worked up about this one.
And rightfully so.
But let's start out with the spoiler warning. We will talk about every single major plot point, and ruin everything for you if you haven't seen it yet, so fairly warned. All right, so starts out not long after Force Awakens ends. They're on the run. And the First Order shows up, and Poe does a little comedy routine with General Huxley. And what did you guys think about that? Was that a little too...
I thought the opening was fine.
I can't hear you. Are you there?
Yeah. Yeah, the whole... It was like, it was a little comedy routine.
No, I mean, that was fine. Some of the comedy's fine. Some of the Star Wars, they had a little bit of comedy. That's fine.
Yeah, and that was fun. I agree. I think the rest of the movie got a little cheesy or too much. The saturation point of corny jokes, I reached that point for me personally, but...
I would agree. I wanted it to be much darker.
But that wasn't in and of itself. Mm-hmm. I feel like they undercut some of the more dramatic moments with stupid... Oh, we have to get a Cordy line in.
Well, they would give you
a problem I also have with like Avengers and other stuff like that. I think
agree.
Sometimes
they would give you a dark scene. Like the beginning is pretty dark, I would say.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bombers that died. Like a lot of the bomb ships died trying to attack the. What would they call that again? What was the main ship they were trying to attack? Dreadnought. They were attacking the Dreadnought, and they would never get this option. They don't get it very often where they can actually take one out. And so to Poe's downfall, he sends a bunch of the bombers in. And they're attacking the Dreadnought, and then a bunch of female pilots go out and take care of everything for all the male pilots. And it's crazy because you have like this crazy scene where Poe's kind of being funny, and the girl sitting there kicking I thought that scene was pretty badass. She's like kicking the ladder to try to get the thing to fall.
That was really dumb. Like,
and I don't like the grab.
Thing that I can't.
I don't
really
like the
see.
grab.
It's gonna fall from up there.
Please just let her catch it the first time. Don't let it like fall. Then she's gonna grab it. Then push the button. I mean,
or just have her don't fall and just
kind of
push the button.
Well, I mean, it's like it's goofy to try to put that kind of climax,
a little too much.
It was too climatic. It was way too climatic.
And they're like, oh my gosh, oh no, it just falls.
Trying too hard there, but that doesn't change the rest of the movie too much.
Actually, kind of is like it's kind of indicative, or like an explanation of like the rest of the film.
Where I would agree.
In places where it just tries too hard.
I would agree with that. So it moved immediately from there to Snoke and Kylo Ren, which was, as we addressed earlier, it was amazing. I thought seeing Snoke, he's a character I've always wanted in Star Wars. He was a great villain, and I liked how he talked to Kylo Ren. And they brought out earlier issues that we kind of had with the first film and how good Rey was and how she could beat up on him. He's like, you got beat by a girl that's never held a lightsaber. I thought that was great because it's pretty funny.
No, it was good. It was good because, I mean, he asked him all the same questions or levied all the same criticisms at Kylo Ren that I would have. So I think it was pretty good.
And then he made fun of Kylo's helmet.
And they made fun of Kylo's helmet, which his helmet was kind of goofy anyway.
Which is great. I thought it was all that was great writing. The dialogue was good. I had no complaints with that section of the movie, and I was actually super pumped. I'm like, man, this movie is gonna be fucking awesome. Like I was super pumped because it amped you up. It was dark, but it was at the same time it was kind of funny. I thought that was the type of humor I like. It's still there, but there's still that dark undertone. So then Kylo goes into the elevator, is just sitting there banging his helmet. I really didn't mind that too much. It wasn't as bad
that's better than him destroying.
Yes, I didn't mind. I didn't have that big of an issue with him like
Yeah, no, I'd say that was definitely better than his temper tantrums in Force Awakens, especially because it directly preceded something that made sense to set him off, as opposed to, that specific stormtrooper that for some reason I have an emotional attachment to didn't shoot somebody in the village.
No, it was a girl.
And he's the one that helped Poe escape. Oh, well, let me lightsaber up this console that apparently doesn't help the ship function at all. Because the ship goes on working just fine.
It said he escaped with the girl, and the girl set him off. The girl set him off, which made everybody think that he knew Rey from before. That's where the whole theories came from. And so, which he still made because he knows who her parents
but then
are.
later on in that movie, he sees Finn and he goes, "Traitor!" So he obviously was set off by Finn specifically. But
anyhow, so then it moves to so he walks down the elevator. This is great. Get my ship. And so then all of a sudden they burst into battle and they're attacking Princess Organa, General Organa's fleet. And then he's obviously a badass pilot and he's going down there. And the weird thing is he has a moment of clarity where he has a chance to shoot and destroy Leia's bridge.
Kill his mom.
Kill on the bridge, and he doesn't pull the trigger. So that was pretty interesting to me.
And then his wingmate tries to kill his mom. And
then, they blow her up, and then she floats in space.
Well,
now,
they don't blow her up, they blow the thing she's in up.
Okay, so I don't know if I just saw this, but you guys may have seen it too. Was there did Anakin's Force Ghost save her?
I think she did it. I think she went into a Force trance thing where she pulled molecules to her and kept herself alive. I think it was her.
For some reason, I don't know if my eyes were playing tricks on me, but I could have swore I saw Anakin floating towards her like this. And pushing her into the ship.
Maybe he did. Maybe I missed that.
And it looked like Anakin to me. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. But I mean,
I don't know if I was. So you can let us know.
We got high before we went to go see the movie, though. Yeah, so that makes sense.
Yeah, we were tripping balls.
Yeah,
so.
those shrooms really fucked us up. So we've seen a lot of things that weren't in the movie.
Yeah,
I've seen shit there.
So half of our, take our review with a grain of salt. Half of it is made up.
So then she's just floating in space.
I just mostly like the colors, man.
Because she's unconscious. So and she's like this, but I could have swore I saw Anakin's ghost pushing her.
Yeah.
I looked over and asked you.
Well, I mean, what I just don't get, if somebody can do that, then how when Jedi's fall from great distances, how do they ever die? And
they don't usually.
Because I mean, it just makes me think of Mace Windu again.
Yeah, Mace Windu
she can get blown up in space.
Right.
Well, he still may be alive though.
No, Mace Windu should have survived that fall. And theoretically, he could have still that's not ever been.
That's why they
rolled out. Samuel L. Jackson definitely thinks he survived.
Yeah, he still wants to be another Star Wars movie.
Yeah, bring him back for episode 9 based on.
Fuck, we need somebody good.
Based on episode 8.
So we move from there. So all of a sudden, Organa gets into the ship and she's good to go. And then they incubate her pretty much, and then it flips back to Rey and Luke.
She goes into an actual coma instead of just a Force trance. But then we go to Rey. She's meets Luke, and Luke is curmudgeonly. Throws the lightsaber away, doesn't want to have anything to do with the Force, with the Resistance, with the galaxy. He's given up, and he's very cryptic about it. And so Rey's got to play the role of cracking open Luke Skywalker so that she can get Jedi knowledge from him and also get him to help the Resistance. Because as in all heroes' journey movies, they think that the wise old guy's the only possible savior, and they never think it's them. They only think, the guy that was the hero in the last war has to be the one. Ugh. So,
okay, I actually liked that he threw a lightsaber. I thought it was going to be I thought that was funny. I'm like, I thought it was
I love that. Yeah,
I thought it was good, but then it turned into Luke being a little bitch, and I don't like that at all.
He was
little bitch, Luke.
He was. He had a crisis of faith. He didn't believe in himself anymore or the Jedi.
I understand the struggles.
I don't think that's being a bitch.
No, he was a bitch.
Dude, his body language was terrible. The way he acted towards Rey was absolutely ridiculous. Listen, if he's supposed to be a teacher, he's supposed to be reading back in interviews, which this is probably where we disagree the most about the movie. Reading back in interviews and how Luke actually thought his position was going to be portrayed as Luke. He didn't agree with it from the get-go. But then he said he kind of understood where the director wanted to go with it because the director wanted him to be more like a Yoda character. Well, he was neither of either of those things. He wasn't like a Yoda character. He was completely selfish. He was self-centered. He was a crybaby. He only cared about his thoughts, his point of view, because he had been hurt before. Most leaders that have been through tragedy use that tragedy to make themselves wiser and help out an underling character to help them grow and be better than they were. In no way, shape, or form did Luke ever help Rey become better than him. All he did was like, listen, I'm going to save myself you so I can redeem myself, which is that, again, selfish. No, I'm absolutely completely pissed off on what they did to Luke. They spat on Luke's grave. He should have been a way better Jedi. He should have been way more knowledgeable, and not how they portrayed him.
Knowledgeable.
Yeah, he was real knowledgeable.
Jedi, actually.
He's so strong with the Force, he allows Rey to leave and just go on the ship. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he actually had cut himself off from the Force for however many years since Ben Solo. Basically, from the point that Ben Solo became Kylo Ren, he became a recluse, and he cut himself off from the what?
Like 30.
No. Kylo Ren's not very old.
However old
Kylo Ren was at least a teenager when it happened.
So it's been like 10 years or something. Who knows? But however long it's been a long time, and he's had himself cut off from the Force, and he wasn't trying to stop. It wasn't because he couldn't stop Rey with the Force if he wanted to. He didn't even try.
My point, exactly.
But that has nothing to do with his Force ability.
It's bad writing. I'm sorry. No, Luke. Okay, what did Luke learn?
No problem with it.
What did Yoda first tell Luke? You're not ready to face Darth Vader. You're not ready. He was not ready to face Darth Vader.
And that's true.
Luke should have known from the past. He goes, this is not going to go how you expect it. Oh. He should have stopped
That would have been pretty sharp, actually.
It's almost as if you took that line straight from Luke's mouth in the movie when he said that.
So we had one good line. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to recant what I said. Luke had one good line before Rey left. Well, he should have stopped her, and they should have
just like Yoda should have stopped Luke, right?
Or they should have had a Force battle.
Just like Yoda should have stopped Luke, right?
No, but what I'm saying, if you're progressing...
The difference is Yoda actually trained Luke.
Yeah, there was actually training before Luke left.
Yeah, but he said he wasn't ready. But he said he wasn't ready.
Yeah, but there was actual training.
Yeah. But your whole point was that he didn't try as hard as Yoda, but Yoda didn't try.
Okay, so when Luke goes to Cloud City, when he goes to Cloud City, at least he could actually wield a lightsaber. He actually fought with the lightsaber. He actually tried to pull stuff out of the lake. He tried to pull it out. Do or do not. There is no try. Like, that shit actually happened, and it was great. Here, Rey cuts down a rock. Luke laughs at her because he's like, listen, you're just showing off with the lightsaber. You're not actually doing anything. That's the only training that we ever see with her have. And then all of a sudden, we're supposed to accept the knowledge that she can go and turn Kylo Ren? No, I don't accept that.
Yeah, no. She couldn't do it. My disbelief for that. Spoiler alert, she doesn't turn Kylo Ren in this movie. And we are not supposed to accept that. She can do it because she can't. She thinks she can because she's headstrong and she was lied to. She thought she had a Force vision, but that was actually Snoke implanting a vision in her that she was going to turn Ben. So it was just all a trick. It wasn't.
Okay,
it's good writing.
That's not necessarily true. Maybe
that's good writing.
He sees them having that vision together. And
it's possible she really did have that vision. We don't know. Snoke claims credit for planting it there, but
but Luke sees the interaction between Kylo Ren and Rey. He sees them both in the same room together. He understands what's going on. Yeah. He at that point understands what's going on. So unless Luke saw all this, unless Luke is so powerful with the Force that he saw everything that was going to happen in the future, he's like, oh, just go, Rey, it's cool, don't worry about it, you'll figure it out, you'll kill a couple bad guys and whatnot. So then, after this scene, what happens after this scene? After Rey shoots herself with Chewie, and they leave the island where Luke is at, secluded. Yeah. They go on there, Rey gets shot onto the ship, and then we flip back toward Poe, figuring out a plan to actually get onto the Death Star so they can actually disable
because the Empire or the First Order has this technology where they can track people through hyperspace, which has a lot of problems for the future because how is a Resistance supposed to survive if they can't escape ever? But setting that aside, they figure out that the Empire or the First Order, I'm not going to get that right, is tracking them, so they have to come up with a plan to stop it, and they don't trust the person who's taken over after Leia. They think she's a coward and weak and doesn't have a plan. And she doesn't like Poe, so she doesn't fill him in on all the details that would prevent countless innocent deaths.
Well, she likes Poe because she actually says at the end she likes Poe. She knows that she knows.
She said it then.
Yeah, well, yeah, she said that she likes him.
But it's after,
But she's like he's headstrong. Matter, right. Like he reacts before he thinks.
Yeah, the whole Poe's storyline is that they're trying to teach him, don't be so impulsive. You need to think strategically. You need to think more than just about like in this moment, what's the most heroic thing I can do? You need to think strategically. So I said that already.
So they can track the Rebel fleet through hyperspace, and when they did that, when they came out of hyperspace, they only had so much fuel left. So they couldn't jump to hyperspace again because they would just track them and then they'd be out of fuel.
Yeah, the next time they did it,
so all of a sudden now we have a chase scene. So they're able to create a force field around the ships and stay far enough away from the main fleet to where they couldn't actually destroy them. Mm-hmm. So they only have a certain amount of time before the fleet catches up and destroys the whole fleet, the Rebel fleet. Yeah. So the First Order is chasing down the Rebels, and then you got Poe here hatching a plan with Finn and a new character that's brought along. And what do you think about her, Jesse?
Oh, I thought you talking about
Rose.
Rose. Yeah. Now that's the girl that's with Finn.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I just think it's kind of ridiculous because Finn's like, he's going to run away again, or I don't know where exactly he's going to go.
Completely in keeping with his character.
He wants he wants to leave to make sure that Rey doesn't come back to the ship because they're.
All he cares about is Rey. He doesn't really care about the Resistance.
Well, I don't know, but he seems kind of scared though. Like when she.
Well, he doesn't want to get caught, right? Because he wants to get out.
But why didn't he? I want to hear.
Are you telling me like this guy has that thing, right? And he could tell them like, "Hey, I have this for Rey. I don't want Rey coming back here. Can I leave?" Something, anything, right? Like,
instead
is there a way?
Away.
But instead, he doesn't tell anybody his plan. I guess maybe they borrowed this from Game of Thrones.
I think that's completely in keeping with his character to this point.
And he's just going to run off, and then she's way more badass than him, so she zaps him.
She's not that badass.
She's at least she's stronger emotionally. I don't know. But yeah, she zaps him. And
she's
then they
dealing with the loss of her sister, who died heroically in the bomber incident we talked about.
Yes, on the bomber incident, they were yin and yang.
Yeah, that's what their little symbol. That might be a little racist, actually.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, whatever, I guess.
So they get together. They figure out that actually Rose can help out. And she knows...
Convenient, right? Convenient that she can help out.
She conveniently can help out. She knows of a casino planet where a guy can actually hike in. Or they call... actually, this is one of my...
They call the bug-eyed lady from Force
Awakens. They call her Maz, which is actually... I thought it was ridiculous that she's shooting people...
She's in a union fight.
Whatever the fuck that means.
Which is more like ha-ha giggles.
It was way too much. I
didn't like that part.
Well, it detracts from the undertone of the movie. It's like, okay, we're going to throw this in here for kids. And that's it was way too much fun. Yeah. So anyhow, Maz tells them where to find a guy that can actually crack in to the actual battleships. Yeah. And so they leave and go to a casino planet, which was way overboard. What do you think about the casino planet?
Before that, but isn't this
my wife?
Big enough,
oh, go ahead.
Isn't this a big enough issue though that she would want to come herself? Like this seems like it's kind of a big deal.
Well, she was busy fighting.
She's in the middle of a union dispute.
God.
It's beat.
Dispute.
Okay, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Well,
I just want to point that out.
I didn't like the casino scene. My wife loved it, but for me, the reason I didn't. So obviously, people are going to disagree on that. She likes seeing all the different aliens and like these little 1 second characters, which I like that too. But for me, the reason I didn't like it is because like that's the only reason it's there is because it's been done in other Star Wars movies. So we have to shoehorn this scene in of goofy aliens every Star Wars movie.
I think it's great. It just didn't fit the storyline.
Well, exactly. This whole the whole idea of them. They're on a chase scene. Well, this one ship can go to hyperspace over here, do a little mission, and come back to this chase scene.
You know, I just thought about this.
Kind of ridiculous.
So nobody could follow that one ship. They didn't have any other free available ships in the massive fleet.
Well, we find out later that the First Order is only tracking the capital ship, the big ships.
I guess it's conveniently acceptable.
Because one thing we know about the First Order, they can build big, impressive ships and weapons. And they have some Sith Lords on their side, but they're pretty strategically idiots. Stupid. Like, even more so than you ever thought the Empire was. These guys, we're only going to track the big ships. And then they're, we're going to we're going to put ourselves in a bad strategic position because we're so fixated on one.
Well, I think it makes sense because they're basically just like Nazis, and the Nazis made a bunch of strategic they screwed up a bunch strategically, so it makes sense. I think that's what they're just doing, right? Another homage to them being Nazis.
I'm sure. I don't know.
Probably definitely.
So I guess that works if you want.
They go to Casino Planet. They're looking for a guy with a red lapel, and everything's above and beyond. It's like eye candy.
Yeah.
The whole planet's eye candy, and they even make it so fucking ridiculous that when they land on the beach, they have the citizen inside the planet's like, they landed on the beach and didn't pay parking or whatever he said. So he turns him into like the local police on the planet, which find Ray and Finn inside the casino. And they had some guy putting quarters into BB-8 and
the little leprechaun alien.
Yeah.
Which so then later they get arrested and they meet this guy who says that he can get them through the security system, which is the whole reason they're there is to find someone who can hack through the Star Destroyer security system. And the guy that we thought it was, based on Maz or whatever his name is,
Maz,
is not this guy. And I thought at the time that we were going to find out later, oh, no, the clue, the lapel or whatever that she gave you to identify him, like he had just lost it in a game of gambling or something. No, you never find that out. This is just a different guy.
Yeah.
They just got a different guy.
Because the guy was...
Why even have the other guy? Because like you show him with the lapel on, right?
Yeah,
he was saying maybe this guy's going to come back into the movie. No. It almost reminds me of like the scene in The Matrix. The guy that's the what's it called? The Merovingian. Yeah. It reminds me of him but you think the guy's going to play a role in the movie? He doesn't.
No.
They played up like he's some guy. And
so then this is where we meet Benicio del Toro. That's who this guy is. And anyway, on the ship later, they're talking about you should. He's talking about payment and stuff. Why don't you take the gold coins out of BB-8 and give use those coins? Pay him with that as a down payment.
Because he needed that specific necklace because it became relevant. Well,
he needed that
when it was
right. But if they'd used those coins, then he would have had to reveal. Okay, well, really, I just need it for a thing, and I'm trying to.
So do you see also with what we noticed too? When Finn is looking in the Millennium Falcon, you see all the old Jedi texts. Ray actually taking all the books with him.
At the very end.
Yeah. So that was pretty interesting. But
we do need to start moving along.
Yeah. So anyhow, they get back to the ship. They have a ridiculous scene inside the Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
They all dress up as officers, and then BB-8. They put a trash can over BB-8,
and they get caught.
And they get caught like stupidly.
Why would they think that would have worked though? The trash can of BB-8 just smashed into everything.
Which I thought was overboard.
So you think, okay, they get caught. Oh, but then they're going to escape and succeed. No, actually, that whole plot line of them going to the casino planet and coming back, pointless. It doesn't matter. They don't do anything with it. They don't do anything with it.
20 minutes of nothing.
Like, and it just showed. And then
doesn't matter.
This is the longest Star Wars movie. Erase that whole storyline and find a different way to progress those characters.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I wish they could have focused more on Luke and Rey training. Say Luke was a little bitchy in the beginning, but then you end it with them having some badass training scenes.
and they do break down those barriers between Luke and Rey.
No, but I'm okay with that. I agree with that. Okay, say I agree with that. And then they extend it a little bit. Then you start to have like some battle scenes with the lightsabers and moving rocks and running around, jumping across, using pillars, using the actual Force. And then she goes and tries to save Kylo Ren.
I think they could have done
if they extended that area, it would make me more. It wouldn't make me so pissed off at what we got with Luke. Yeah. Because we really maybe got 30 minutes, not even 30 minutes with Luke. Maybe 30 minutes.
He's gone a long portion of that movie as well. Right.
Yeah.
Between the time when Rey shows up, there's a long part of time where they're trying to like extend it and be like, well, maybe he's not going to show up.
Yeah,
right.
Maybe Luke's not going to help.
So then Rey gets taken up before Snoke with Kylo Ren, and they have like a whole kind of Return of the Jedi scene with the Emperor and Vader.
Really cool.
It's well done, and then
it looks good.
And then Kylo Ren ends up killing Snoke. Jesse hated this part. Matt liked the killing scene. He didn't like when they did it.
It was too early.
And I kind of on that boat a little bit, but just in the overall sense, but I think within the context of this movie, it had to be done then for the rest of this movie to make sense. And I like what they I like how they set up Kylo Ren, and he's now the bad guy.
I don't mind.
He's the one that you have to beat.
I don't mind Kylo Ren taking over as the bad guy, but at least have a fight scene. I think Snoke should have been. If Snoke was powerful enough to move Rey around the room, there should have been a little bit more.
But
struggle.
I like it because
Luke should have showed up then, and then we finally see Luke redeem himself. And then Luke shows, or just something.
But I like how Snoke essentially he was his own downfall, his hubris.
I'm okay with that.
That's what I like.
But I don't mind that. But that's too early.
No, but that it only works if you do it the way they did it. Yeah, otherwise, then it's a lightsaber duel and not a hubris duel.
Or what I'm saying, or he doesn't notice it, and then for example, he goes to kill him, but Snoke stops it, and then Luke enters into the room. I think there's different ways it could have been written to give us more girth and with the characters and build. It would have been awesome to see Luke and Snoke go at it in a force battle. Not necessarily a lightsaber battle, but can you imagine a force battle between Luke and Snoke? I bet it would have been sick. You could have probably done some good shit with that. But no, we decided not to do anything like that. They decided to kill Snoke off by cutting him in half, and he haphazardly falls off the fucking throne.
Well, when you're cut in half,
I'm just saying. I get it, but the way they focus on it was pretty funny though. It was like. Yeah, like it was just a funny like.
And then there is a pretty kick-ass battle right there between Kylo Ren,
best part of the movie,
and the rest of the Knights of Ren or some sort of Sith guard. We don't really know exactly.
Yeah, but I was just let down by the Snoke dying, so it was like I couldn't even really focus on. I guess it was. I just think killing Snoke is horribly stupid. Like you build up. I didn't think it was gonna happen. You build up a great character. Why I was
surprised.
And then you do that. Like it's like there's so many conspiracy theories on who Snoke is or was. I don't know if he's still alive or what.
You have to kill him.
Can we get a backstory?
There's all kinds of stuff about who the fuck is he, and then they just worthlessly kill him like whatever. Just want to fly away. Let's.
I just wish we got some kind of explanation on what the fuck is going
on. Here's what pisses me off. They elongated scenes of the movie that didn't mean anything, and then they relegated scenes that could have been really powerful to that much. And that's one. Snoke is one of them. Snoke is like. You could have spread that out and gave you some good background. Been like, oh, that's who Snoke is? Holy shit. And then still kill him even the same way. Okay. And it would matter more to me than having these stupid
scenes. If you're saying that earlier in that movie, or maybe in Force Awakens, they could have given more backstory on Snoke, I'd agree with that, yeah. But I really liked how they actually carried out, how that scene was executed. And I like its placement within the story. I thought it was fundamental to the story.
But I think you don't build up somebody. You don't build up a character just to get rid of them.
How many people?
That's what they did with Emperor Palpatine.
So bad writing. How many people actually think about the way you do, Chris?
They get rid of them.
About how they kill Snoke.
I don't know how many people.
I don't think that's what they.
I know that's how you like it, but I think people. I don't think people really notice what you notice.
Yeah, don't. If you're, you're probably better off to take their advice because I'm always in the minority on everything. So.
Well, yeah, because Brant's not here. If Brant was here,
I mean globally, Brant and I are probably minority opinions on things.
Well, weird.
But we disagree on Rogue One, Brant and I. So
okay, what about
surprisingly?
Now what about
Rogue One.
Okay, so they die. What you guys think about the force grab tug of war with the lightsaber?
Oh, that was stupid. And then what I think is really dumb is it rips it. So like they're pulling so hard that it just the fibers of the lightsaber rip apart, and they each have a piece of it.
And then Kylo Ren
that causes it to explode. So if you do that, that's actually well established in the expanded universe. That if you break a lightsaber, it causes a huge, almost not nuclear.
I've never seen another lightsaber ever do that. When I've seen people kind of fight over them like that before.
I get that, but so Kylo Ren. Power. So Kylo Ren gets knocked out, and Rey doesn't.
Maybe they're making all the new lightsabers.
But a lot of and they talk about in the movie, a lot of the equality in terms of power and ability between Kylo Ren and Rey has to do with the equal rising up, the balance of the Force, the dark and the light. And it's like Rey is the light's champion that the light is putting forward. And in my opinion, it's perfectly good writing, makes perfect sense, and it's what it is. It's the Force itself is helping to guide Rey's actions.
That's not my question, though. My question is...
No, I didn't say it was.
You don't see her exit. you see Kylo Ren wakes up when who's the, I always forget this guy's name. Who's the lead bad guy? The general. Hux. CC Hux, like he's gonna pull.
We should
his,
probably chill out so we can see them together.
Well, just finish your thought.
He's gonna pull out his blaster and cap him. And then Kylo Ren like moves.
Yeah, that was I did like that. All right, this is part 1. You won't see 2 videos, but where there's going to be a slight break now.
No, it's actually about 6 seconds.
Shut up, Jesse.
So when you last saw us, we were ending the first session.
Mm-hmm.
So Kylo Ren had just had a really sad tug of war with Rey and lost. Because he's a guy.
They tied. It was a draw.
But here's what I'm saying.
He passed out and Rey didn't. Rey escaped.
How come balance? I mean, I understand the Jedi always say there's balance, right? I get, and they tried to portray that a little bit.
But they also just pushed down the dark side.
But but in like let's say episodes 5 and 6, it's not that it took a while for Luke to build up his power, and it still wasn't balanced. It was just him versus Sidious and Vader, and it still wasn't
Vader.
a
weak Vader.
So now, it seems like
a conflicted Vader, a balanced. That's the balance.
I know. I don't think so. Don't even try.
So
it.
Is Kylo Ren?
It is. No, but
don't
it
even
is.
fucking dare.
No, because Anakin was supposed to bring balance.
Is Kylo Ren so
Force,
conflicted?
Right?
How did he build There's just not balance. There wasn't balance in the Force in either. Fucking 500 Jedi and a Sith Lord and a guy who's like, I'm not sure. There's never been balance. Like they always say, there's balance in the world.
No.
It doesn't actually exist.
But
so her
but
power
I think
just
it's more about
the
fundamental forces, not like the Jedi versus Sith isn't the balance. It's the actual elemental forces of the Force itself.
So Rey gets back to the ship with Finn, and then she has a reunion with Finn. I'm sorry, we're skipping too much. We gotta talk about Captain Phantasmic. That was.
I guess we have to talk about her. I'd rather not.
Well, yeah, because how the fuck does Finn get off the ship? They have the most ridiculous BB-8 controls in AT-AT. Come on.
Yeah, that was dumb. Captain Phasma, the most poorly conceived bad guy character ever, goes out in the most poorly conceived fashion. It was a fitting
I don't think she's dead.
It was a fitting. Oh, she.
I'm serious. I don't think she's dead. I think
because she fell into a ball of fire.
In armor,
in space,
right?
Mm-hmm. In space,
in armor. So who knows?
But her armor was broken open.
Just one. So maybe she'll have one eye in the next one.
She'll have an eye.
She'll wear an eye patch and be like, "Was that you, traitor?"
FN2187.
I think that's a traitor.
Their fight scene was terrible.
There was something else I was going to say. No, the BB-8 thing. He can't drive around with a metal thing on him to make him look like a trash can without bouncing into everything. But the son of a bitch can climb into an AT-AT, and somehow he can see where to shoot and stuff and how to run it.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's just,
and also, when they catch the infiltrators, they made it seem like the reason they found out that they were imposters was because BB-8 was obviously a fake.
That's
right?
what I thought.
Yeah.
Right. That one,
guess who's the only infiltrator that doesn't get captured? It's BB-8. But he's in the room.
I know.
He's in the room when they capture them.
Well, the other, the Imperial style BB-8.
Yeah, the evil BB-8.
Wait a minute. That motherfucker is not one of us.
I didn't like evil BB-8 either.
So, that's the other thing. They play up things. They play up things in the movie that just don't happen. So I was waiting for that too, because it was obvious. It looks right at him because there's a trash can running in the wall.
Well, because Poe is on the comm with Finn. He's like, "Dude, you gotta go." And then he hears Poe. He hears Finn getting captured. And then they trail him out to the rows and rows of soldiers and stormtroopers, and then they have a big battle scene, and it was just terrible. I thought that whole scene was,
and then
because how they escaped. The way they escaped was ridiculous too.
Oh, we skipped over a part of the movie. We probably should go back.
Yeah, so now we need to go back there.
What did we skip over?
One piece that we did skip was Kylo Ren telling Rey that she always knew who her parents were, and that her parents were just junkers.
Oh, well, and actually, we also skipped over, and that is a function of, so when Rey gets to the island, some things start happening. She starts having these moments where she can talk and see Kylo Ren, and Kylo Ren can talk to and see her, like as if they're there. They don't see their surroundings; they just see each other, as if they're with them, and they talk to each other. And this happens a couple times, and they start forming a bond. And then in a pivotal moment, they touch each other, and that's when she.
Now, Chris, what did you think about the mutual masturbation scene?
Dad misses part
you'll
maybe?
have to. Yeah, what?
You didn't see that, but maybe I watched a different movie.
I guess so. You're gonna have both Matt and I are confused, so you're gonna.
No, I'm just saying, like between them two.
We were telling her to put on a towel.
Do you know what mutual masturbation is?
Yeah.
You sure?
That's where you masturbate each other.
Oh, you're sick.
What?
Right.
I'm so confused.
So
Can you please
what?
explain what is going on?
What
I don't know. I guess maybe you guys are tired.
Jesse.
Maybe you guys are tired. But
okay, we obviously forgot the scene, so tell it to us.
It never happened. It was a joke.
Oh, okay. Well, then what's the joke? Where's the scene that's a joke for?
We threw in a mutual masturbation joke. I just figured that'd be funny, but you guys are just like, oh, did that scene really happen?
Usually things are funny because they relate to other things and not just...
Well,
mutual masturbation is funny regardless.
But what do you go, Bubba? That's pretty funny. That's a funny sound.
No, it's not.
I did think
Nobody
it was funny.
laughed.
She's like, can you put a towel on? Because
No one
they're
laughed for
shirtless. He was walking around shirtless.
Nobody laughed.
Which was ridiculous. I think it's just a reason for them to show him shirtless.
Yeah, exploitation.
But, so they have this bond and special connection that Snoke used to connect them two together. So she would completely just leave everything behind and say, Chewie, please take me to go see Kylo because he's going to change to the lights.
And
There's
I'm
conflict
going to do
in
it.
And I'm going to do it myself because I've had no training.
Because I had a vision.
I don't know anything about the Force.
Which we find out possibly was implanted by Snoke.
Which is fine. Okay. Anyhow,
Or
we're past that now. So Snoke's dead.
And
they
then
fight
now
together.
we need to go to the rebels.
Who are still fleeing. And there's only one ship
so
left
they come
now.
up with the plan. Their new plan is they're going to have because the Empire is, according to them, it's only tracking the big ships. So they're going to fill up a bunch of little ships and fly to this planet. And then when that ship gets exploded, they'll hide there for a while and then restart the resistance. But they get betrayed by this Benicio del Toro character who, wasn't the guy they went to go get. They get this guy instead. And he immediately betrays them to the First Order when they get captured. So then they start blowing up these ships. So, there's at least 3 or 4 full transport ships that get exploded.
More than that.
Good.
There's thousands of people.
Yeah, and because at the end of the movie, there's only 7 people left.
I think there's only portrayal thing. I think
they said there was so many hundreds of people.
Yeah,
on the
I think it's hundreds.
So it's not,
it
was 600
so
or
really
400 people at the beginning,
but not very many.
Because you only see the Millennium Falcon in the end. You don't see anything else, unless.
Yeah, well, the it's a transport ship. It's a cargo ship originally.
Yeah.
So it's designed to hold a lot. So
it can hold hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Because it didn't seem like hundreds of people.
Done that in the expanded universe.
Okay, I didn't know that because it didn't seem like hundreds of people were coming out of the caves.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe it was just a trick.
Yeah,
we'll learn more about that later on.
People.
So anyhow, yeah, so they're blowing up these ships. Doesn't the Millennium Falcon go back and attack the big ship, so they can give them time to
something?
No, the Millennium Falcon comes in to help. When the speeders come out, that's when the Millennium Falcon comes.
So okay?
So here's a continuity error.
How did the transport ships get onto the planet without all being destroyed?
Well,
I thought something comes that interferes with that.
Yes,
Millennium Falcon does, right?
No. Admiral Holdo, she's piloting the main cruiser.
There we go.
She was gonna.
That's what we're missing.
Go down with her ship.
Predictable.
And it was. I agree with that. She turns it around, goes to light speed, right through the middle of Snoke's ship, which, if you're familiar with relativistic stuff, that things moving that fast, that particles can get away. It causes cataclysmic explosions. So that is believable that one ship would destroy Snoke's huge giant ship. And that is actually how Finn and Rose and BB-8 escape as well because they're about to get executed
That's
when that happens. And so then the BB-8 piloting in AT-AT happens and the fight with Captain Phasma where she maybe dies, maybe doesn't. And then they escape on an Imperial shuttle and they join the forces. And then they're trapped in this bunker, and
Hoth, right? They're on Hoth, aren't they?
They're on Salt Hoth.
Salt Hoth. Okay.
Yeah, because it's all white because it's salt. They made a point of a guy going like, "Oh, it's salt." Well, I don't know why they cared.
So why is it red though?
Because it's salt. I think there's probably some Earth equivalent that they're.
I was curious.
Some sort of salt plains that's red underneath.
I thought it was a cool scene when they're driving the speeders out towards the big weird looking machine.
So they bring basically it's miniaturized Death Star technology, and it's a battering ram to blow open their blaster
base.
doors.
Yeah.
And the speeders are these old rinky dinky like prequel level technology speeders that can only hover right up, almost like Anakin speeders, but they have like a little ski, so they're connected to the ground. And they send TIE fighters to destroy them, and they're basically toast, right? And then the Millennium Falcon comes in. And guess who's on the Millennium Falcon? Inexplicably, I don't know how she got there, Rey's on the Millennium Falcon. I don't know. That's a continuity error to me.
Because she got off, she escaped the ship.
Yeah.
I don't know how though. That's what I was saying before. You don't know how she won the tug of war out. That's what I was trying to ask you. My question was, how the fuck did she get off the ship? Like, there's a lot of loose ends in this movie, and it really irritates me.
Yeah.
And so, but here's the question I have: what the hell were they trying to do with the speeders? I never understood that. Were they trying to? They're
trying to destroy that.
I know, I get that, but what was it? Were they trying to fly into
with
it?
What?
Was somebody going to set?
I think they had guns.
It almost looked like Independence Day, where they're going to fly into the main.
Well,
weapon.
That's what he was going to do because he thought that
it wasn't going to work either.
He thought his lasers weren't.
But hey, at least the girl got to save him again.
Yeah, true. But I didn't understand because it didn't show lasers. They never shot at anything. They just drove around and got shot. So it looked like the dumbest plan.
I think they couldn't shoot up at the TIE fighters, which is why they were sitting ducks. Which is why the Millennium Falcon was necessary. Then that's the whole scene where you get the little porgs on there and Chewie knocks them off while he's doing a dogfight and some of the best flying he's ever had to do to survive.
On the way into assault mines.
But he has
Did they
time
have
to
to go
knock
into
these
assault
porgs
mines
around.
Can't they just fight in the damn air?
Yeah. This
whole movie, like even in episode 7, them flying through the big Star Destroyer, like can we just please just focus on just... What I'm just saying, they took that to the extreme.
Episode 6, yeah.
They took that. I'm talking about episode 7. They're flying through like at the
Killer
very beginning.
Base.
No, in the very beginning of the movie, when Rey steals the Millennium Falcon, they fly through the down Star Destroyer.
Oh, Star Destroyer!
Like, I'm just saying. No. Now in the episode, now they're flying through assault mines, and Rey's like can't move the gun because it's all up against the wall, and Chewie's like, I was over it at that point. I'm like, just please, can we see Luke?
Yeah,
please give me Luke. And then Luke walks in, and he's like, realistic, and he's like, oh.
If you're smart like Jesse, you see the plot twist that's coming.
No, before
if you're dumb like me, you don't see it.
Well, yeah, you're dumb. I agree that you're dumb. But like, how does Luke? Can he just feel like does the Force just let you like give you a GPS coordinates on where people are at?
Yeah, essentially.
I guess.
Well, so how does he just? Well, first of all,
I think
you can have, if you have connections with certain people. It's like kind of like you can feel them out, and you recognize their Force presence in the universe. So you can hone in on those people.
I can explain this.
But then why didn't Leia know where Luke was in episode 7?
Because he cut himself off from the Force.
Yeah, he completely.
That's also why Snoke and Kylo Ren couldn't find him.
This is too much. This is ridiculous. It's definitely ridiculous.
That is pretty standard.
I get that.
Star Wars stuff. That's expanded
he completely limited the Force to himself, and he lived like a human, pretty much, which is why Chrissy was aging. Yeah. But the thing that kind of just irritated me the most is it's like when Professor X wheels into the big dome room, and he can put the helmet on and he can feel all the mutants out. That's kind of the same powers that Luke has because he's hyper connected to Rey, and so we brazed over this.
But he's more connected. I think it's Leia.
One second, but we brazed over this. We don't know that we brazed over this because now all of a sudden Rey's parents were junkies or junk traders that are dead, buried on Jakku.
Well, yeah, this was...
I know, I'm saying we never covered that, though.
I was going to come back to that. I was just
Rey's parents were literally covered in less than a minute.
Yeah,
it's because it's a red herring. That's why.
Or she's nobody, which I prefer. I think she's nobody. I prefer her to be
okay.
original.
Even though I'm saying the time spent, like Jesse said, that would be something deep, that would be impactful, that you should focus on. But no, they'd rather focus on building new aliens and. Anyhow, so
they did focus on.
Well, and he kept, he was like, you can see the visions too of your parents, but how come they didn't show us those visions? They didn't show us nothing. Right. So they kept us in the dark, and then they try to reveal it in this weird way.
Well, I'm saying the reveal,
and then we don't know if she really saw anything or didn't see anything, if it was planted by Snoke, or because I don't believe
there was no. The reveal was less than 30 seconds.
Well, because they wanted us. I think they don't want people to focus on.
Because he's like, join me, Ray, join me, and then they start fighting over the damn lightsaber.
And there's still time for them to focus on that in the next movie too.
Well, I'm hoping so, but that's what I'm saying.
I think it has to.
I'm just saying
So it's not really a flaw of this movie.
But Chris, what you don't realize is we have to spend another 2 years. Did people realize that? That's a lot to ask. That is a. Do you know how much can happen in 2 years?
We could die in 2 years. Yeah. Trump could annihilate the planet in 2 years.
How long does it take George Martin to finish a book?
George Martin could die in 2 years.
Okay, so I want, because Jesse is foreseeing this, right? So we're at the point where Luke is meeting with Leia. Jesse foresees what happened. Jesse, take it away.
Well, no, I figured it was a hologram. I mean, as soon as I thought it looked like a younger version of Luke. It looked like he didn't have as much gray hair, and he was slightly younger.
He looks cleaner too.
This is true in retrospect. I didn't notice it at the time. I thought it was just an example of him coming back to the galaxy and society, that he cleaned himself up, but his hair was nice.
I get it. If I was thinking about it,
I thought the same thing. I agree with you. I was your thinking. I'm like,
he took a shower.
Yeah, he took a shower.
It was just in my head, because they showed Leia's old hologram earlier, and I thought, it's just another fucking hologram. I mean, great idea,
a better hologram.
Yeah, just a good hologram. I still. Actually, I thought he might have been there.
So R2-D2 is still on that planet.
When he meets with Leia, he meets with Leia, and and they're like, they have that moment.
Touching scene. That's a great scene, actually.
He said something like, "I'm sorry," and she says, "I know," which is like the "I know," the play off of or whatever. I mean, it's an all right scene, and so I actually thought he might have been there. But I still thought the other one was a hologram that actually went outside. So I thought there was some kind of way they were.
So then,
they were
he
using
comes
him
back
to do the hologram. Right. Was R2-D2 there?
No, R2-D2's still on the planet because he's the one
he's on the Millennium Falcon probably.
No, he's on the planet because they had already left.
I don't know. I just thought it was a hologram.
The Millennium Falcon leaves, and then he shows, and Luke's kind of lying around, and he shows not cool.
That's a low blow.
That's a low blow, yeah, because he shows the hologram. So keep going. So
no, that was on the Millennium Falcon.
No, it wasn't.
That specific scene was on.
Either way, I thought they were just taking Luke inside of there and creating a hologram outside to screw with Kylo Ren and give him more time.
Right. Well, he walks out.
And I wasn't.
If you're
I wasn't positive.
Smart like Jesse, you realize it's not really him. But Jesse was kind of wrong because it wasn't a hologram. It was Luke was force projecting the way that Kylo Ren and Rey were force projecting to each other early in the movie,
and the way that Snoke force projected himself in the throne room.
Which seems very hologrammy, right?
That is out there.
I'm sorry. I meant
it's the same damn thing.
I thought you were mentioning the episode 7 stuff. How he was like, was that always a hologram? I can't remember.
Yeah, that was.
That was a hologram.
And so it was, just another hologram because they have everybody attacks.
So
Luke,
everybody tries to kill him. And Kylo Ren's like, everybody fire on that man, and they all fire for 30 seconds, and then Hux is like, that's enough. I mean, I'm a Nazi, but this is cruel.
This was a little much.
All right, so they stop, and Luke comes walking out completely unscathed, and so he's like, nobody do anything, and Kylo Ren goes down to fight him. And there's a lot of little clues that if you're smart, you pick up on it. Like, they show a lot of their footwork, and you'll see Kylo Ren will slide on the salt, and it'll kick up and turn red like the ski people did. And then Luke will slide, and no, it won't disturb anything because he's not really there. He's a projection. And also Luke doesn't do any lightsaber. He always is dodging. So they don't they don't connect.
Tricksy stuff.
And it's I really loved it. I loved this whole scene. And then they're talking to each other. I love the dialogue with each other. And then Kylo Ren comes for the killing shot, which you think is going to be just like Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. And it goes right through him. And you're like, oh shit, that was a force projection. That was brilliant. I went to lean to Matt at the thing. I was like, that was brilliant at the time. And I felt like Matt agreed with me at the time, but maybe not.
I was really scared, honestly.
And then
my biggest fear is you see Luke standing there, right? And then you see the horizon and all the AT-ATs. I'm like, they're gonna fucking end the movie right here. They're gonna fucking end the movie right here. I'm gonna be so pissed. I thought they're gonna, like, he walks out there. I'm like, they're gonna stop the movie.
Oh
here.
yeah, just like,
and like I was like, oh,
with the Luke not saying anything.
Yeah, I'm like, do not stop. I will riot if you stop the movie here. Like, so, I did not wait over 2 hours to see this shit end here. So, but I mean, I didn't mind. I go because I'm like, after looking back at it now, it's kind of frustrating that that's all I get out of Luke. If that wasn't all you get out of Luke, it would have been good.
Well, Luke saves the Resistance because
it's cool.
His maneuver gives him time to escape.
But what happens afterward, Chris? Go ahead and take it away.
Afterwards, you cut back to Luke. He's on the rock. He's just in his force projection. He's all disheveled and panting for breath because it took a lot out of him. He gets up. He does his yoga pose. And communes with the Force, and he disappears the way Yoda does, and he dies. So he dies.
Fucking stupid.
He transcends into the Force.
Now, here's my thing with it.
Like a Downey commercial.
Stupid. This part.
The only reason I don't like this part is because they just did the trick death scene. Mm-hmm. There's no point to do the trick death scene if you're still going to kill him.
Yep.
You just have him actually be there and get killed by Kylo Ren.
Yep.
Same. So,
is he technically dead, though?
Well, no, he's communing with the Force. I mean,
dead.
Yeah, but either
also
it's the same.
But they just established in these movies though, Yoda's pretty fucking real as a Force ghost. So like,
oh, that's true.
It's
that's
a little different now.
Yoda comes as a little Force ghost to advise Luke, and he's like three-dimensionally there. He summons lightning and blows up the
tree of faith or the original tree. Like he's pretty, and he can hit Luke with his cane.
Yeah.
Like, so I really appreciate that they took time to reestablish Force Ghost because I think Hayden Christensen's going to come back.
No, you don't.
I do. I think they're going to do it.
No way.
I think they're going to do it.
No, Luke's going to come back.
But I think Luke's going to be prevalent in the next movie, and I think he's going to maybe have more role. But I think he's going to be training with Rey because if
helping her to understand the
if Yoda can
done it in person.
I know, but if Yoda can actually attack Luke, not attack him, but hit him physically, then Rey can actually connect with his Force Ghost.
I don't want to completely undersell him here because they do set up the fact that Force projection is very taxing, and especially the way that Luke did it, because when it was just Rey and Kylo Ren, they were the only ones who could see each other. So I think like the more people who can see you, the harder it taxes you physically. And also he's been cut off from the Force, so he's been aging at normal human years, so he's old actually, and his body is frail. They do set it up so that it logically makes sense, but I think narratively,
it's reaching.
Narratively, it having him die right after the fake death, they undercut each other. They undercut the power of each of them, and that's the problem with it. Not the fact that that he dies. It's the fact that you had the fake death right beforehand. Just stick with the fake death, or have him die.
What do you think about
one or the other? Pick one. That's my beef. Don't do both. Don't have it both.
Another thing that frustrates me about Snoke being dead is that he's so strong that he could slam Hux to the floor, pull him towards him, and project himself in front of him. Like when at the very beginning of the movie. Like they blow up the dreadnought and the rebels get away and Hux. It's actually like this part of the movie. Hux like, I'll take it in my chambers, and fucking he gets like slammed to the ground and pulled forward. Like that's how strong Snoke is with the Force.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling, this is only a theory, that he's not dead. I think it'd be disservice to all Star Wars fans if he actually is dead. I think if they do it right. Maybe he transcended into the Force too, or somehow or some way that like he foresaw something going wrong. I don't know, but he was badass. He was great throughout the movie. For the 10 minutes he was actually in the movie.
Yeah.
But what do you think about the ending? I think the ending was really significant too. Right now everybody's we find out the books are still alive, so they still have the old documents. Rey's kind of disheveled. Leia's disheveled. They think they have enough to gain spark from the rebellion, but at the very end of the movie, I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but the kid that goes to pick up the broom uses the Force, and he Force grabs the broom. So I'm kind of interested to see if maybe.
I think it's about that specific kid and more of a general. there's a bunch of people out there that are against the First Order and Force users out there.
What I was gonna say is, it shows that there's a spark.
Yeah.
That they're telling stories about Luke Skywalker, and that's the spark. Like Luke sacrificing himself in a way created a spark in the galaxy. He was the hope that they always been looking for. Like they said, Luke would bring hope to the galaxy. And I think that showed hope. Like he's like, I can be a Jedi one day too, and he goes out there and grabs. So it shows that the light side of the Force isn't dead. It's still thriving, or actually it could become evil, but there's still Force users out there. I thought it was cool. I didn't mind that. Like shit like that, I'm cool with. Like to me, those are cool scenes, but just don't do overboard with it.
But for that scene, because I think that scene's kind of dumb too. Because it harkens back to the casino scene.
Yeah, you can do
the casino scene.
Oh, you mean with the
it's that specific kid from the casino scene.
No, the rest of the casino.
Oh, is it the actual kid?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought it was just
he's in the stables.
The stable boys and stuff.
I'm sorry, I missed that. I was already pissed off about it.
No, like the scene itself is fine. I mean, you don't have to apologize in that sense. It's
whatever.
But it's
you can still cut out all the casino stuff and just have him do that at the end, and then people would still be like, I think they would still get the same imagery, like, oh look, there's more people that are using the Force now, or there's like a reawakening.
So let's wrap it up. Overall, Jesse?
No, I even got to talk about Luke, because I think they did a horrendous job with Luke. I think they did a tremendous disservice to the Luke character. They make him a pussy the whole time. They don't give him. He doesn't do any kind of fighting. He doesn't do any kind of training. He does save him at the end, and then he fades away, which doesn't fucking make any sense to me. I would have loved to have seen a Luke Vader scene, where Luke is talking to Anakin's Force Ghost, and they're going through, like, Luke's asking him questions about maybe how he could have changed Ben, like how Vader changed himself, so that he could use that with Anakin later, with Ben Solo later. Like, I think that would be powerful, or do something with him. But instead they do nothing. I just thought that was really shitty. I still thought the movie was fun. Yeah, it's a fun movie. It's a good watch. I mean, I'd watch it again. It's not as good as any of the original three.
No, we haven't.
And I'm not even sure if it's as good as 7. So
I think it's better than. Oh, go ahead, Matt. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll let you finish out, Chris. Because obviously Jesse and I agree with everything that Jesse just said. I think I was really disappointed. I was hoping to see. I just thought about that when you just said about the Force Ghost. It's kind of disappointing because they made it a big deal to show Yoda and Anakin together and Ben together at the end of the Return of the Jedi. So, and we don't get, the only interaction that we get with the Force Ghost is when Yoda's kind of like telling Luke quit being an idiot. Don't worry so much about the old ways because all the knowledge you need is right there in Rey. So I thought that was kind of powerful at that point. But now I think about it, like, he didn't have any, there's no interaction with Anakin. They just fade away. There's no interaction with Obi-Wan Kenobi. You think Obi-Wan Kenobi would have came back too and been like, hey, listen, you can try this, or what do you think about, there's no, I kind of sad that you said that. I never realized that until you just said it, that we didn't get any of that. And now it pisses me off even more.
I think it would have been better if it had been Obi-Wan or Anakin because, well, if you go back to the original trilogy, Ben is the one who keeps coming back to talk to Luke.
Yeah.
Not Yoda. I mean, Yoda dies.
Use the Force, Luke.
Doesn't die till Return of the Jedi, but still, that's who he has the relationship of someone talking to, or his dad talking to him.
I think that would have been a powerful scene.
Yeah. So, I mean, those would both, and then Yoda.
Why did they? I don't.
They chose Yoda because it was easier in terms of a.
Because kids like Yoda.
Well, and you just project a puppet and you just do his voice. You don't have to worry about getting some sort of CGI actor of a human. You can just CGI a puppet. It's
I get it.
Well, they did it for merchandising.
Yeah,
merchandising.
Spaceballs.
Dude, the search for more money.
So overall, my opinion of the movie, it was good. I would give it. I think I agree with Jesse. 7.
I'd give it 7 out of 10 lightsabers.
Purple
lightsabers.
That's a good movie. That's a good rating.
It was a good movie.
You guys seem like you're so down on it.
But we have to.
I think the originals are so great.
I think to do justice to Star Wars, we have to be pissed off about it because they had a great chance to end this, to start a new storyline, but do justice to the old storyline.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
I thought that they had some really great moments in this movie. I really loved what they did with Luke. I love Rey in general. but it also had some clunkers in this one. It was very up and down, but they took risks and they went in different directions, which I really appreciate compared to The Force Awakens. And I think if these two movies, well, specifically if this movie had come out in '98 instead of Phantom Menace, I would have been through the roof as a kid. I'm not as an adult because my tastes have become too pretentious probably. But like Phantom Menace was bad even to a kid. This would have been great for a kid, and it was good for me. And I'd give it 8 lightsabers out of 10 lightsabers.
It's way better than Phantom Menace.
Still makes
sense.
sense.
Oh my god!
Yes.
I mean, come on.
So all right,
not even equal comparison.
I think that sums it up, guys.
Yep. Mutual masturbation.
This is asinine.